Hello and welcome to the National Capital Chapter BMW Sports Car Club of America. This is round 12 from Spa Francorchamps. This is the championship round of the series, final race of the spring season here. And we're running about a 45-minute race. We're coming to the end of qualifying. Chris Hill currently top of the charts, provisional pole. We've got Darren Treakle, who's second in points, that we're following here on the track, trying to get a better lap. Steve Ficacci is third in points. He's currently fourth. But our battle tonight is going to be between Chris Hill, who's called it a day, and Darren Treakle here. Thanks, everybody, for joining in. Looks like we're going to have about 14 cars here tonight at the Spa circuit. Big circuit. We'll see what we have. We got about 3 minutes where we're gonna let any qualifying go through, and then we're gonna have this 45-minute race, which I'm not 100% sure. What are we gonna guess the lap count on that is going to be? Probably, I don't know, 25, something like that. It'll tell us in a moment. But yeah, basically Darren needs to win the race and have Hill finish third or worse. But he can't, Darren can't pass Hill and have Hill finish second, otherwise Hill's going to be our champion of this season. But yeah, this is a classic sports car circuit. And let me know who you're rooting out there for. Did hear that a couple of drivers, one Stencelier from the Beltway Brewing Company, not able to attend the race tonight, dealing with some personal issues. So we wish him the best, him and his wife, from the Race First crew and everybody here in the BMW League. And Darren was able to go faster on that lap. He's about 4/10 off of Hill. And we've got other cars coming across the line as well. That was Bielik. Looks like Barry Bocaner also crossing the line. Yerkes is on the pits. It's Cortanic. Team Gasburn car still out here. And then we'll get a run through of the grid. Let's go on board with oh, it's just coming around the final corner, so we don't need to go on board for him there. Did have some technical difficulties tonight. There was a surprise update to my streaming software that always makes your heart skip a beat. You don't want to be doing that. Good to know. Trace Hans will follow him out here tonight. Yeah, let's get a look at this grid. So we've got Chris Hill, familiar name there at the front, followed by Darren Treakle, second in points, Trace Hans in P3, Steve Ficacci P4, Hendrick in P5, Colin Kortanek in P6, followed by Yakov Bielik in P7, Bobby Blankenship in 8th, Brian Hare P9, Scott Kim, our admin, in P10, Stephen Tenney P11, Tim Bradford P12, and we've got Peter Yerkes in P13. We've got Brian Kennedy coming in there in P15. He's just joined the server. Brian's just making it in time. Barry Bocaner there in P14, rounding out the field. So quickly going through that. We'll get everybody starting to grid here momentarily. Short pace lap here. We've got some Trace fans in the crowd here tonight. This is good. Everybody's going to have their work cut out here tonight. This is a little bit longer race than usually. We usually run about a 30-minute race. And tonight we're doing a 45-minute one. We did one earlier this season at Daytona. Daytona Road that was a longer race. But honestly, that's a little bit easier circuit, Daytona Road. It uses a lot of that Daytona Oval. But Spa Francorchamps where they're running here tonight in Belgium, is a very tricky course. Looks like everybody is on the grid, so we're gonna pull away that pace car, unknown pace car, BMW, or not a BMW. It's a whatever it is, sedan. It is a nothing. iRacing sedan. Getting a full getting a full sit of the cars here. You got a lot of fans for Trace here tonight. It was good to get some fans out there letting me know who to follow. But yeah, once again, this is BMW Sports Car Club of America National Capital Chapter. This is Raceverse, and I'm Matt Houston, broadcasting from Indianapolis here tonight. Our cars pull away. Chris Hill's going to lead them down. Trace Hance in P2. Or sorry, I misspoke there. Darren Treakle in P2. Trace Hance in P3. Mikachi in P4 in that black and yellow car. Pace car ducks in. And Hill's going to come out of the corner. It's up to him when he wants to go. There it is. Green flag. Across the line, 45 minutes of racing to go here at Spa Francorchamps. Trace Hance looks inside. He's going to have that run down to Eau Rouge. Into P2, over Treakle. Onto the Kemmel Straight. They go. This race is going into the evening, as you guys can see. Power move by Trace Hance there over Darren. Let's see what Darren can do. Fikachi's right at the end there on Darren, right on his bumper. And into the Lecombe section they go. Everybody clear through. Really tight race up there at the front. Looking for other battles through the field. Really cool to see all these headlights here in Spa. I do think there's some lights at this track. 2 pit lights, something like that. But, oh, we've got Hill spinning, and Hance goes off, and Treakle is going to take over the lead. Wow. That, we're going to have to get a replay of that. I don't want to cut away from this, though, because we've got Treakle into the lead, and he's under pressure from Mikachi. I'm going to go back and get a replay of that, though. We can get back to... Okay, actually, Hill has saved it into P3. Where is Trace? Trace is back to 13th position. Looks like that caught him out just a little bit. I'm going to get back and get this replay, though. I'm going to follow Trace. So, Chris Hill had an issue going into the Puan section, is what that's called, about turn 12. Coming up here, this is a replay. Gets that rear locked up, and Trace goes to avoid it. Oh, and some contact there. Doesn't look too bad, though, and he gets going. Wow. So let's head back to live pictures. This is exactly gone as Darren wants it to go, but he is under a lot of pressure up here at the front. As we complete our first lap. We're going to have to will Trace back to the front there, though, from 12th. Wow. Big slipstream by... Looks like some bump drafting here on the Kemmel Straight. Fikachi given some bump drafting, some speed on Treakle there. This is exactly what Treakle needs, but 1 second separating first to third. Oh, we've got some dirt coming up from Fikachi there. Hill is right on that bumper. Let's go on board with Hill here. See what he can do. This is through the campus section, Spa Francorchamps, into Stavelot, and that will take them on the Blanchimont kind of long straight here. Fastest part of, well, Campbell Straight's pretty fast, but this is pretty fast as well. A couple of fast points at Spa. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Trace as he comes back through the field. He's already up to 10th. As Hill tries to work on Fikachi up there in P2. I want to have a look here. Kennedy started last. He's up to 8th. Hendricks dropped back a couple positions. Let's just quickly go through the field. Treakle moved up from 2nd into 1st. Fikachi's up to 2nd from 4th. Hills dropped back to 3rd, as we saw earlier. Cortanic's up a couple positions from 6th into 4th. Bielik is also up a couple positions. And that orange crafting for a Cure car. As Blankenship and Hendrick battling here on the Kemmel Straight. Let's keep an eye on this. Blankenship's trying to make that move go. Oh, and power move on the outside by Hendrick there. Keeps that position. Kennedy right there, as we talked about earlier. Brian Hare in 9th, started 9th. Here's Trace. Up to 10th. He's still pretty close there, and that damage he took does not look too bad, so keep an eye on that. Scott Kim there in 11th from 10th. Stephen Tenney there in 12th. Bradford in P13. I see we've got 16 cars at this point. Yerxa back here as well. Bocaner, P15. Stover has had some issues. He's on pit lane. Back to the front. Don't want to miss these battles here. Also should turn up our volume for the external camera. Hill's pressuring Fikachi right here. Really tough to make a pass in these cars. So Hill and Kennedy, and actually Hendrick as well, have been running the IndyCar in another series that I run. We have a push to pass button over there. I'm curious if Hill would like to have a push to pass button. That's not doesn't automatically give you a pass, but it gives you a little bit of extra turbo boost basically on the IndyCar. It gives you about 40 to 50 horsepower. You only get 10 pushes during the race, so you have to use them wisely. As Hill, right on that bumper of Fikachi. They've got to be careful. This track, they do have an incident limit in this series, and it is really easy to put a tire off, get an incident point, and you have to get a black flag at some point. Grace Hance up to 8th position, getting around Blankenship. He's setting his sights on Kennedy there. Excellent car control from Hill here. I would never be that close on somebody's bumper because I know I'd just end up running into them. Let's go on board with Trace here. As he works on Brian Kennedy. "36 minutes to go." We come across there. At each position that Trace gains in this race, though, as he gets closer back to the front, it's going to be increasingly more difficult to make those kind of passes. Oh, we had a blanket chip going a little wide into the chicane there, turn 19 and 20. I do believe we'll have a pit stop at some point here tonight. And Hill has lost a little bit of ground to Fikachi there. And Fikachi has a good run on Treakle there at the front. As they head through the Brussels section of the course. Hey Sten, good to see you out there. I was hoping you'd be there to watch for the broadcast. Sorry you couldn't be here. Wishing the best to your family here from Raceverse and myself. And get through any difficulties that you might be experiencing. Good race here tonight, though. Oh, Kennedy had an issue. He's looped it around. I always feel bad when we gotta go do a replay. Show what happened here with Brian dropping through the field here. He was under pressure from Trace here. We'll see. Was there any contact here between Trace and Brian? Nope. Brian just lost it on the curb there at... I believe that was turn 11 out of the Brussels section. One of the corners that actually does not have a name here at the circuit. Brian gets it going again, but he's back to 15th. Race up to 7th. Looking at other battles out here. Tim Bradford's working on Barry Buchanan there. Mispronounced Barry's last name a couple weeks ago, and I said it. Barry's one of our newcomers here to the league, and I said it right the first week I broadcast the race, and then somehow I made up a new way of saying it. Well, that was the incorrect way, as Bradford gets around him. But yeah, Barry, not a race that we broadcast, but we had Barry scored his first points in the series last week. I believe they were at Road Atlanta, but I could be wrong. As you can see, the light at the track is slowly, it's over the horizon now, getting the last sunlight of the day. I think we're going to be completely dark by the end of this one. I'm going to have a look at those lights that they have somewhere here. Hill still pressuring Fikachi. This is for the championship, really. If he gets around Fikachi, he wins. If he doesn't, I think Trace, or getting Treakle and Trace mixed up here tonight. Liking the static camera. Gives you a really good sense of the speed. Hendrick has caught Portanic. I believe these two are teammates, so they might race each other a little bit cleaner than... although with that said, everybody races clean when, you know, obviously racing and its incidents happen. Let's actually, number one, let's do a shout out to our sponsors here. So we've got Treakle Insurance. That's Darren Treakle, who's leading our race here. You know, he's one of our sponsors here, and helps these broadcasts happen. So we thank Darren for keeping these going. And we've got another season of this coming in the summer as well, Darren on board. So Treakle Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency offering auto, home, business, and life insurance. And they teamed up with Hagerty Insurance to provide collector car coverage, as well as race car and track day coverage. So Treakle Insurance. This is out of Virginia. Then we've got Beltway Brewing Company. Stan and Cellier, they're in the audience here tonight. Not able to race tonight, but this is his company. Beltway Brewing Company. So thirsty for an award-winning local craft beer? Beltway Brewing Company is located in Sterling, Virginia, and proudly represents the DMV. Try their lineup of handcrafted IPAs, lager sour stouts, and they even have seltzer. And you can order directly from their website, beltwaybrewco.com, for contact-free delivery right to your door, or you can pick it up right in their Sterling tap room. So we thank our sponsors for letting us have these races broadcast by yours truly. Meanwhile, we've got Hill currently still pressuring Fikachi. I'm going to do an onboard, and we're going to run around, and I'm going to name off all of the corner names. I think we're going to go on board with Hill here, since this is the closest battle we have. Although, I think that Hendrick might be a good one. Go on board with Hendrick here. Or not, if he's going to make this pass. Nope. Okay, this is the final corner, and we're going to come across the start-finish line, then I can start naming off our corner names here. I've said some of them as, oh, they're going in the pits, so cancel that thought. We'll do it when he comes out of the pits. Everybody is in the pit lane. We might be having 2 pit stops here tonight. With only 15 minutes into the race and they're pitting already, I think we're going to have 2 pit stops. This is interesting. I like pit stops. And Hill gets off. Takes over the lead. I wonder if he short-filled or something, because Darren and Fikachi both having, so Hill up there at the front had a 9.9 second stop. Darren here and Fikachi had a 13 second stop. Everybody had a 13 stop other than Hill, so really interesting. What that tells me is that Hill's going to have to pit earlier in this next stint than everybody else. Now that's strategy right there. Anyway, we'll go on board in a bit. When we come across the line, we'll go back on board with everybody, or with one of our drivers. We'll figure out who it is. It looks like Hendrick got around. Probably go on board with Fikachi with his battle with Treakle, but Hendrick got around. Oh, we had Portanic had an issue or something there. Long pit lane. Not 100% sure what happened there. Get a really long amount of time in the pit lane, but not in this pit stop. So Trace Hance up to 5th. after going back to about 12th position in that first lap. Good battle between Stephen Tenney and Yerkes up here as well. Hortanic gonna be working on Barry here. Okay, we're gonna go on board with Treakle, or with Pikachu here as we come across the start-finish line. That was the start-finish line. We're gonna head into the first corner. This is known as La Source. And this is gonna set up for the really famous Eau Rouge and Radillon corner. This is like 3, 4, and 5. 3, 4, 5. Formula One cars can play that completely flat. Not here in a BMW GT3 prototype. Onto the straightaway here, Camel Straight. All these corners are really famous here at Spa Francorchamps. Into turn 7, 8, and 9. This is called Le Combe. And into turn 10 is the Brussels corner. Coming up with a left-hander is turn 11. No name on that one. Into turn 12, known as Pouan. Downhill section. A lot of elevation change here in Belgium. This is in the Ardennes Forest. Any history buffs from World War I and World War II will know about the Ardennes Forest. This is through turn 13 and 14, Campus. And through Stavelot. Onto Blanchimont. Turn 17. We skipped a few through there. A lot of corners here. We through 17 and 18. No name on 18. Just kind of Blanchimont as a series of corners. Into the final chicane, no name, just chicane, turn 19 and 20. That is a lap here at Spa Francorchamps. One of the bucket list European tracks, I would say, if you're ever overseas and wanting to watch a race or visit a track. This is one of the places. Maybe the Nordschleife, Spa, maybe Silverstone. Obviously Monaco's this weekend. Not a year-round track by any means. Kennedy has been moving back up through the field after that incident put him back to 15th, and he's wrestling with that car a little bit. He's fast, but some mistakes coming there from Brian. He's now working on P9. Could have a good run. Oh, we got a blinker there. That was Brian Hare. See some sparks flying up. That makes it exciting. I think that Brian's gonna have Kennedy is gonna have a heavy braking into a Lecombe, and he takes over that 9th position. He's gonna be trying to get into that 7th spot. A 7th spot is our kind of bonus interview positions. So we interview 1, 2, 3, and oh, okay. I thought for a second that I saw Fikachi getting around Treakle, but he has not. Hans is right behind Hendrick as well. Let's go have a look at Trace here. Let's go on board with Trace. as he lurks behind Hendrick up there in P4. Looking at fastest laps, Hill is the fastest car. Very comparative laps, though, by 1, 2, and 3. That's there's a drop back to P4, though, and P5. I'm going to be watching Brian Kennedy gaining ground on Brian Hare up here. And we saw Brian was having some blinky internet connection kind of issues. That's what you can see him disappear right there. That's what that is. It's tough to battle a car that has a blinking kind of issues like that. So we'll see what Brian can do with it. Oh, a battle for P4 between Trace and Hendrick. I didn't see Hendrick making it easy. He wasn't going to let Trace go on the outside, but Trace powered in and, gets onto the curb a little bit too much. Gets a little bit of loose car on the exit. Maintains the position. Takes over that P4 spot. Watch if Hendrick can come back. Might give him a little bit of the chrome horn, a little bit of bumper. And yeah, we're estimating about 10 laps to go here. A lot of incidents here tonight. And we might be having another series of pit stops here as well, unless they started the fuel. No, I don't think they could do that. I think they just have to set it for what it is. We'll see. I certainly hope there will be another. Well, yeah, there has to be, because Hill did such a short fill there. I have to imagine that's what's going on here. Looks like Kennedy got around Hare. Might have just blinked around him. Treakle needs to get around Hill up there. Like, this is the championship. If Hill stays in the position that he is, to Treakle, Hill wins that championship. In fact, Treakle and Ficacci need to get around Hill. Treakle needs to win this race, and Ficacci needs to be in second, and Hill needs to be third in order for Treakle to come home as the champion of this BMW Sports Car Club season. We're going to be switching cars here next season, though. Should be interesting. We're going to be going back to the BMW GTE. Ran that a season ago. We're basically rotating what we're running here. Also, Hendrick still maintaining a good gap on Trace up there. See Scott Kim, Brian Hare, Scott Kim, and Yerxa there, all within striking distance of one another. Scott Kim looks like he has a really good run on Brian here. Is going to look inside on the Kemmel Straight into Lacombe. And Scott's going to make that position work. Now Yerxa is going to set his sights on Brian up there. Oh, and it looks like, yeah, Yerxa is right there, but we had Brian blinked again. Try some different camera angles here. Oh, Scott Kim having a little bit of issues there. Oh, and we've got Hill in the pit. As we said earlier, he's going to have to pit early. And we'll see. I think that Darren and Fikachi can go at least 2 more laps, is what I'm guessing. Either this lap or 2 more. Trace is back in the podium position. Hendrick under pressure. Trace under pressure from Hendrick on the Kemmel Straight here. You can see this light is no longer on the track. It's completely dark here. Trace guards that inside line. So Hill is out of the pits. We'll be watching Darren up here and Fikachi to see what they can do. So the pit stop for Hill was a 13-second one, so I suspect that Treakle and Fikachi can do a shorter pit stop, like the 9-second one that Hill did last stint. Brian Hare and Scott Kim also still in this battle. Scott Kim has not driven away or anything here. So keep an eye on Treakle here. Do they go into the pits? I think they're going to stay out. At least 1 more lap. Let's see. Yep, they do. They stay out. In fact, they might be able to make it 3 more laps or 2 more laps from this point. Nobody's changing tires, that's for sure. To change tires would take like about 30 seconds. Hendrick still right. Okay, Trace into the pit lane. He might have brushed that wall there. I want to see that again. It was really close. I don't think he touched it. I think there was about an inch between that wall and his car. Yerk's 2/10 back from Brian Hare here. That was... who was that? Brian Hare heading into the pits. We'll be back up to the front and we'll see if Darren or Fikachi head into the pit lane here. And Darren's starting to gap a little bit over Fikachi. Kennedy up to P7. He's in that interview position, but I think once he pits, then Trace will put him back to 8th or 9th. Whoa, really far off by Fikachi there. Keep it on the track. Those tires might becoming an issue for Fikachi there. So we wait for this upcoming pit. Looks like this is the time. Fikachi stays out though. Fikachi's gonna lead a lap here. Now we will watch, see how Hill intersects with Treakle coming up when Treakle gets this stop. Hill's coming out of the final corner. Darren's, we're watching him. He's on pit lane there. You can see on the right, that's Hill coming. And What are we doing? Okay, Treakle's driving away. I think Hill's gonna have it. Hill's gonna have it. Yes, he did. Hill maintains that. Well, it's not the lead for the moment, but second place once Fikachi stops. Still a long pit stop by Darren there. It was about a 12-second stop compared to that 9-second stop that Hill had. Kind of wonder if Hill's going to have to do a little bit of fuel save here. Heading back up now to the front. We'll see if Fikachi should be due to pit this time. Kennedy is in P7. Trace Hance has gotten around him. But I believe that... so we've got Blankenship in P4 and Kennedy in P7. They both have yet to pit. So they're going to shuffle down a little bit. A lot more cars in pit lane. We've got Bradford, Hare, Kim in pit lane. Got 10 minutes left in the race. I know it says 6 laps to go, but I don't think we're going to get that many laps. It's going to update at some point in time. Oh, we've got... Treakle had an off or something there, but he's still going. Fikachi is in the pit lane. So now here, we'll see if Fikachi can get out ahead of Hill. Just like we saw last time. That is Hill. Not wanting to give us the different camera angle that we had before. There we go. Fikachi's out of the pits. I think Fikachi, is he going to maintain the lead? He is, but Hill is right there, and Hill powers out. He takes over the lead there over Fikachi, but this is not over here, folks. And we've got a blinking car ahead of these. So the sparks flying. This is a lapped car here. This is going to be interesting. And he just blinked. Whoa, boy. This is a battle for the lead right here between Hill and Fikachi. Fikachi had a good pit stop. That was a 9.9 second pit stop, so he did what he needed to do. I think that Darren just took a little bit too much fuel. But he's right there as well. This battle has slowed them down, and he's going to catch up to this. If they crash, Darren could be in the catbird's feet. Bobby Blankenship has taken over P7. That is that interview position we talked about earlier. Will Fikachi just try to throw one up there? Side by side, Fikachi and Hill. Whoa, side by side they go through Blanchimont into the chicane. Power move by Fikachi. Not the end of the world for Hill in that championship, but all these drivers want to win, so I have to imagine that Hill's going to want to get back up to that lead. If you're the champion, you got to win the race. That's how a lot of these drivers think. So Hill has the fastest lap of the race. He's got a really good slipstream this time, once again. We're gonna look out, step out. We're coming up to lap traffic as well. Hill keeps it going on the outside. Fikachi comes back. Through Lecombe, maintains the position. Really good driving between these couple drivers. And he's gonna try inside through Brussels. Does Hill over Fikachi. And he's got it for the moment. There's a spinning car there, lapped car. Luckily did not come back on the track surface. Dirt getting kicked up. I feel like we might have some contact here. Keep it clean, folks. Meanwhile, Darren's just sitting back there. He's waiting for these guys to bunny each other off the track. This is the championship race, and these drivers are doing exactly what they need for that kind of race. Lived up to the card. Title card. Into the final chicane. Oh, we almost had some contact there. Oh, we might have even had some contact. Yeah, we had. No, wait, we didn't. It says off track. Let's get a replay of that. A little bit of the chrome horn by Darren there on the competitor. Let's get a look here. Did they touch? I think, I don't think they did, but Fikachi. Oh, yeah, they did. They did. Oh, boy. Darren tried to send it. Back to live pictures. This battle is kind of, spread out now. Hill's in the lead. 1.8 seconds. Look through the field and see if we can find anything closer. Cortanic and about a second back from Yerxa. Cortanic had some issues earlier. It's too bad for him. And Hendrick got around Trace at some point as well for that 4th spot. Trace back in 5th. I'm pretty sure that says we have 3 laps to go. I think we might only have 2. Darren's gonna do everything he can to catch up to Hill, but it might just be too little too late. Got snookered in the pits. Yerxa is only a couple tenths back on Cortanic off once again. Yerxa is gonna take over that P9 position. Okay, 2 laps to go. I think we're gonna get 2 laps here. Depends when we come across the line here. Botanic is 8/10 off of Yerxa. Yerxa just got around him. Scott Kim, about 9/10 back from Barry Bokaner. Barry doing really well in this race, up to 12th position. Barry's got, and this isn't exactly recent news, but he's got new pedal and wheels. He's just getting into this whole thing, and he's learning the ropes here, but improving every single week. As we said earlier, he scored his first points last week as he comes under pressure from Scott Kim. That is the amend there, Barry, so be careful. And I can't quite tell who... Okay, Scott, I couldn't quite tell if Scott had gotten around him or what. Oh, boy. Barry defends it. And that was actually the end here. We're finishing up. That is, the clock is out. Hill is going to be our champion right there at the checkered finish line. Darren Treakle is going to be second and Fikachi third. And we'll see. Okay, we've got some fireworks at the course here. Let's see if we can... I'm not sure where those would be coming up from. Unfortunately, I don't have a good shot of those fireworks. Well, we'll get set up for interviews here and get an interview with our champion and talk to Darren and Steve as well as Bobby. So we'll be right back and talk to you shortly. All right, we are back. Let's pull up our winner here. Hey, Chris, this is Matt up here in the booth.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How about you? You are the champion of the spring season, and you're the winner here tonight at the Spa Francorchamps.
Yeah, no kidding. Geez, that was a heck of a race there. That was stressful to say the least, and heck of a lot of fun. The strategy of having a couple stops there, and I tried I guess you could say the undercut, so to speak, and it was kind of a last minute decision to try that because I didn't think I was going to be able to get around Steve anyway, and if I didn't, I knew Darren was going to take the championship there because we were close enough.
Yeah, I think it
So I was
was
like,
Darren needed to finish first, and you had to finish third, I think, and then he would have won. But
yeah.
as long as you stayed second and him first or whatever it might have been, then you'd have been good. But power move to get the victory in the final race of the season for the championship. But yeah, you made it exciting. That was interesting strategy call. How about that first lap though?
Oh my, yeah, I thought for sure race was over there. I mean, I was like, okay, take it easy, cold tires, and I'm like, as soon as I'm saying that to myself, the next thing you know, I'm like halfway spun, and I'm like, okay, guess that wasn't easy enough, and yeah, for sure, made it stressful for myself for sure, and a lot of work to get back to the front, and heck of a good race there with Steve there, and man, this is a fun little series. I mean, there's an intense group battling at the front there, and it's
Yep.
it's super fun week in, week out, and everybody just keeps getting better and better, and I just it's been
Yeah,
pretty fun. So
I saw like how you were so close on their bumper when you were behind them that I was like, where there's gonna be contact here, but there never was.
yeah,
But
yeah, there's a lot of appreciation and a lot of effort amongst everybody in this league to race clean, which I really
mhm,
appreciate. It's rare that you find that that you get a group that's willing to sacrifice a position to be clean, so to
mhm.
speak. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously we're going to battle to the last bit, but completely willing to give a little room just to not to make sure it's a legit pass and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's been yeah, it's
Well,
been really
there
really
was
really fun.
also like you have an incident limit here, and it is really easy to just pick up those 1x incident limit incident points here at
For
Spa.
sure.
So I
Yeah,
wonder
all
if
it
there
takes
was
is a
anybody.
little understeer midway through the corner, and the next thing you know, you're over that line basically. So
Exactly. It's
for
so
sure.
touchy here. But yeah, congratulations on the victory there. Any shout outs, anything like that you want to give?
Well, I'll always got to thank the wife for supporting and such. She made sure that the dinner was ready when I got home, so I could jump in the sim without any distractions, which I really appreciated that. And then, of course, everybody at work there who they actually helped me get out of work in time to make sure I got here in time to get in, which was really appreciated. And then, of course, just got to mention my private instruction stuff that I do. I have the precision racing instruction. If anybody's out there looking for some coaching either on the sim or in real life, you can look us up on Facebook or Instagram, or always, of course, through the BMW Performance Center too. I also work
Mhm.
out there too. It's my full-time gig. So either way, and yeah, thanks so much to Scott for putting on such an amazing series. It's turned into one of my favorite things to do on iRacing for sure, and a great group of guys. And thanks for broadcasting it and everything,
Yep.
covering
Hey,
it so well. So
also congratulations on your first podium there in the IndyCar earlier
yeah,
this
that was
week.
uh, that was a surprise. That was a heck of a crazy race there for sure.
Yeah,
So
it certainly was.
I'm enjoying that a lot. I'm still not good in those cars, but I'm getting there. So we'll get up to speed eventually.
It was a bit of
See if we
a
can't.
war zone on that first lap, going through
For
all
sure.
that. So,
I think I picked up 11 spots without passing anybody. So
yeah.
you know, but
Well,
yeah, that's a great little series you
congratulations.
got going over there too. So yeah,
Thanks.
for sure.
But yeah, we'll see you back. Well, I don't know if we'll see you, but I guess that's the question for you: is will we see you back? I think we're switching to GTEs for the summer season.
Yeah, I'll
Uh,
probably jump in and continue on. I mean, well, I've been enjoying it, and like I said, the competition. Darren and Steve and a couple others jumping in there have made it. Even though it's not the whole field running at that pace,
mhm,
everybody's getting faster and faster. I mean, guys that used to be nothing, nothing to to beat. It's like they are now becoming a threat. So it's
mhm.
it's becoming a more and more competitive series every season, and um, definitely worth playing around with. So I'm sure I'll jump in at least at the beginning, and hopefully schedule allows me to continue on through, and for sure, yeah.
Sounds good. Well,
So
we'll see you back. I'll see you next week, I guess. But we'll see you back here in a couple weeks.
sounds good.
All
Thanks,
right.
Matt.
Take care.
All right.
All right. We'll bring up Darren here. Hey, Darren. This is Matt up here in the booth. Do I have a copy?
Hey, Matt, I do.
Well, I think you tried everything that you could to win that championship, and it didn't quite work out for you. But still, you had a great season. You had some wins. You finished second here. Um, Chris had this pit strategy call that I think really went well for him, though, and he did like a 9 point something second stop, and then you and Steve had done a 12 or 13 second stop. So he snookered you guys a little bit there with that early stopping and with the undercut, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching. I figured I had a feeling he was going to cut, or I mean, sorry, pit a little bit early. But um, Actually, I'm sorry. On the first one, he left a little early, so that one surprised me a little bit. But, it was no harm, no foul. But on my second pit stop, I finished with 3 gallons, so that it took on. I took, 2 gallons too much. I don't know if that would have made a difference or not, but clearly Chris had the pace. And I had decent pace. I had better pace last night. I don't know what the difference is between last night and tonight, but anyway. We were fairly even on lap times. So unless I did something extraordinary, it was going to be tough to get by him. But Steve almost helped out a little bit. Unfortunately, I came in the back of Steve there towards the end.
Yeah, the chicane. Yep.
Yeah, I just I was carrying more speed through there than I had, and went into a different gear. I went up a gear because I needed to, and so it just threw my braking off. So I just couldn't get slowed down enough to keep from giving him a little love tap from behind. So that was my bad. But
yeah, when I first saw it, I actually didn't know there was contact. I thought maybe he was watching his mirrors and he just knew that you might hit him, so he had gone straight a little bit. But on the replay, I saw that you did touch him a little bit. But that happens. It was coming down to the final lap, and you had to do something. So.
Yeah, we were. I hate to say it, but I was saving my exes, towards the latter part of the race, and so if I needed to use a little extra track or whatever, or it wasn't, or if I had contact, it wouldn't be a big deal. So I didn't want to use those all up in the beginning, and then I'd get myself in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah, that was an exciting point early in the race with Chris going off there for a moment and you taking over the lead. That was exciting. But yeah, I mentioned that to Chris about it is so easy to get incident here, and you guys have a pretty tight incident limit here in the series, so
yes,
it's so easy. You could put 1x off every single lap if you could. But you can't because of the incident limit. So you got to.
Yeah, you could do more than you can do a lot more than one. If you run the track like what you see in like Formula One when they're here.
That's right.
You'd probably have 5, 6, 7 X's by the time you got back around.
That's right. Yep.
If you use the track like they do. But I did a little extra practice on my own. Because I knew this track, I think I mentioned the last time we talked that you could get the incident points here really easily. So I just did a few extra laps on my own just to kind of get an idea of where I could put the car and be safe. So, which was good because I was able to save them up. I don't like usually using them honestly, but I just figured, what the heck? It's the last race. This is the last hurrah, if you will.
Yep.
So leave it all out there, kind of thing, and go for it.
That could be an interesting thing. So another league that I run, and they actually give you bonus points if you in the race with 0 incidents. So that maybe think about that for Scott up there to do something like that and reward people for low incidents or 0 incidents. Anyway. You had a great run here tonight, great season. Any final shout-outs for the season and sponsors that you have?
I appreciate all the guys that take the time to do this with us, and thanks to Hagerty for jumping on board, and Beltway Brewery sent over there for jumping on board, and Scott taking the time to put all this together, and you jumping on board and announcing the races for us, and yeah, it's just it's a lot of fun. I look forward to it each week, and it's just a good kind of little break from reality in the middle of the week.
Sounds good. Well, are you going to be back here? We're going to be switching over to the GTEs, I think, for the summer season, and you planning on joining for that?
I will. I am a fan of the GT. I'm actually,
I think
although
we might have talked about that before. Now, that
yeah,
say
I
it,
haven't driven the GTE in actually quite a while. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've driven the GTE car since we started doing this car, just because I really wanted to just focus on this car.
Yep.
But I actually like the GTE car better. So it will be interesting to see now we're going back once I get in that car if I like it better, still like it better, you know. But I've gotten, you know, I've grown to like this car and gotten used to it and kind of figured it out. So yeah, but I look forward to the GTE cars. We need to run them while we can because I think they're gonna slowly start not supporting them and just kind of go more towards the GT3 and GT4 cars.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I will say regarding this GT3 here, the look of it has grown on me. When you first saw that prototype picture that they released, like however many months ago or a year ago, I was
yeah.
I don't know about that look, but it really has grown on me, and I don't even it was kind of odd looking when I first saw it. I was like, okay. But now I don't even notice it. It looks like a pretty cool car to me. So
I mean, you know, when you look at the car like from the side, from the back, I'm like, that's pretty cool. And then I get to the front, I'm like, ugh,
it's the grill.
You know, yeah, it's the grill.
Yeah.
You know, as a BMW fan, long time, you know, I'm like, oh man, that's a lot. You know,
Yeah.
but it's kind of grown on me a little bit. You know, we talk about it, and you know, I have a feeling there's going to be some aftermarket companies when, you know, the real cars come out that are going to do things to kind of make the grill a little bit smaller, you know. But you know, if you you do the right color or whatever, it kind of it kind of blends in and it's not that bad, you know.
That's right. Well, I guess we'll see you back here in a couple of weeks then, but
all right.
Great season there, Darren, and you take care.
Thanks, Matt. You too.
Thanks.
All right.
Hey, Steve, this is Matt up here in the booth.
Matt,
how's it going? Tell me about your race. I mean, it was pretty action-packed, honestly. I'm trying to think of like everything. You took the lead at times. You were back to third. Yeah. Darren gave you the chrome horn at one point in time. You know, there's a lot of action here.
Yeah, I mean, my thought was, based on qualifying, I'm like, I don't think I'm as fast as these guys, but if I hang with them, I can definitely race. You know, if I can race around them, be side by side with them, I can definitely, make a chance of it and hopefully do something in the pit stop, which it looked like I was close. You know, I was almost there.
Yep.
Early on, I was really trying to make a run at Darren, but he's just so good out of the corners, I guess. By the time I got to the, caught him in the straightaways, like, maybe I could put like a fender on him, but like I couldn't even get alongside. So that was a bit frustrating. But I just kind of relaxed and said, all right, I'll try to do something with the pit stops. And we all did that first pit stop at the exact same time. Chris, I think, went for a lighter fuel load at that point. So I didn't want to start racing Darren in that second stint and lose Chris. So Chris, Darren was in front of me, so I just was like, let me follow him. I think he's faster than me anyway. And then make her go a bit later, and I had a good pit stop, and I came out side by side with Chris, was able to draft him down the front stretch and make something happen there, and we weren't racing back and forth a bit, so I was optimistic that I was going to be able to make a run to the end, and got cut short.
Yeah, it was good with the 2 pit stops here tonight. I mean, some people might say it's too many pit stops, but I think it was good for the show.
Yeah, I think it definitely adds a little bit of strategy. As you saw, like Chris did something a little different, and me and Darren were on a similar strategy. But in the early part of the race, I was behind so much, I saved a lap of fuel, or at least enough to go around one more time. So that gave me the chance to leapfrog Darren. But yeah, it definitely added some interest.
Yeah, you guys, in terms of your best laps, Chris had the best lap, but it's literally by hundredths of a second over you and Darren there. So a really good race here tonight. I think you might have missed a couple races because you were dominating at one point in time, kind of through the season.
So I think I had I forget the track, Ulton Park maybe. I was like really ready to go there, and I think I got together with Chris at that race. and I scored no points. And then I missed a race, maybe missed 2 races in a row. So there was 3 races in a row I scored no points. So can't really recover from that when you have guys like Darren and Chris, racing up front every week.
That's right. Olden Park. That's an interesting track.
That was a new experience. I kind of remember doing it like a long time ago in like an MX-5, but it's definitely for our group. I don't think that was a broadcast race. Might have been a good one. I mean, it's such a narrow track, and the cars are fast, so they kind of take up a lot of it.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Well, any final shout-outs, anything like that for the season?
I gotta thank my sponsors, Rick's Flicks. It's a great streaming service. The guys at VRG. This past week, they actually, my contacts through there allowed me to get on track at Summit Point and go to a driving school. Mm-hmm. So that was awesome. So I need to thank all those guys for putting on a great school and allowing me to be a part of their event.
Very cool. Hey, so next season we're switching over to the BMW GTEs. You going to be around for that?
I thought maybe we'd do GT4s.
You'll have to talk. I think it's the GTE though.
Yeah, it probably is. I don't think a lot of people don't like the GT4s.
Well, it might just be a thing of trying to think of those GT4s front wheel drive. No, those aren't the front wheel drive.
The GT4 is kind of a cross between like a street car and a GT3. They're a bit slower. They turn a little bit differently, heavier. Yeah. I prefer the GTE cars over the GT3.
Okay.
I don't know why. I mean, the lap times are nearly identical, but for whatever reason, the GTE car just feels better to me.
Well, I think it has a little bit more horsepower, maybe, and I don't know what else it has better, but it does feel kind of bulky to me.
Yeah.
I
like it.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see you next season then. A couple of weeks.
Yeah, sure will.
Summer season.
All right, great.
All right. Well, take care of yourself, Steve.
Thank you too.
Thanks. Hey, Bobby. This is Matt up here in the booth. I don't know if you realized, but you were going to get interviewed.
They told me, and I was waiting my turn. I was like, I'm finally going to get to...
It took a while, but yeah, I didn't forget about you. So
No.
Tell me about your race.
The race, well, I didn't practice any in the dark. So when it started getting darker and darker, I had to just go off a feel of my break points. So that took about a lap and a half, but I knew my pace. I was where I was. I wasn't going to be able to get up any further or drop back unless I had an off or something. But yeah, it's always fun racing with these guys in this league. We got some really fast guys that are always up there, but I always seem to be running with like the same 5 group of guys in that 5 to 10 range. Mm-hmm. But Spa's my favorite track, so I wanted to show out and do good. A top 10 finish and lucky 7 to talk to Matt. I'll take that.
Sounds good. Well, you started 8th, you finished 7th, so you gained a position through the race. You kept it on the track. Your lap times were pretty good through the race, and I know that, say, like Trace, he dropped back, he got back around you, but he got back up to 5th. Any shout outs you want to give? Anybody watching or going to be watching the replay that to listen to you on the interview here?
For sure, Matt. I always send it to my dad for my dad to watch. He usually watches the replay because he doesn't get it live. And then I'll give a shout out to my wife and I'll make her watch it because I'm always telling her I got something to do on Thursday night, which is get on iRacing and race with this group. And Scott Kim does a great job. So I want to give him props and thanks for putting this all together. And then the guys that have sponsored it to be able to broadcast it. Beltway and Darren and who else is there's one other
some
sponsor.
New ones coming in for next season.
There is. I saw that. Yeah. SEO Mike.
That's correct.
And but yeah, so it's just a great group. I'm with the BMW Club, Buckeye Club in Ohio, and so all these guys are up north. But it's and obviously Chris is out in LA or in California. But it's fun to have these relationships and just hone in the iRacing skills with these guys and learn from them. It's fun.
Sounds good. Well, Hope to talk to you again next season. What's your thoughts like getting on over the GTE car?
Man, I don't spend too much the cars unless like I never raced in that. What was the car we had before? The M8, the M6.
Well, no, the Z4.
I never did the Z4,
Okay.
and then we had the M6, and then this car. I don't race them on the official iRacing. I only do them in this race. So the GTE cars, I haven't really spent much time with. So it will be a fun learning curve once again. But yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, I would imagine at some point, like the skills would transfer from, say, the GT3 car to the GTE car. So I would imagine anytime you're gaining more confidence, on any of these cars, you're also gaining a little bit of skill on any other car that's out there. Unless it's like, I don't know, a stock car or something like that. Then it's a completely different world.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think it's they all have their little different nuances. Some like they do rotate better with trail braking, get on the gas fast sooner in the apex to bring the car around, pull it around. So they all have different nuances. So I'll just have to figure that out. But the nice thing is this group, you get on Discord and they'll talk about it and help you out.
Yeah, it's a good group. Thanks to Scott out there and all of our sponsors. And we'll hope to see you again next time here, Bobby. And we'll talk to you again soon.
Matt, I appreciate everything you do. You make it a lot of fun. And hopefully it's not lucky number 7 I talk to you. I'm on the podium.
That's right. Well, we'll see you next in a couple weeks, really. It's not that long till the next season. And we'll see you then. Take care till then.
All right. Thanks, man. Bye.
All right. Take care. All right. That's it for the season. And let's go through the final results here, and we'll be out of here. Chris Hill there taking the victory and the championship. Darren Treakle P2, Steve Ficacci in P3, Hendrick in P4, Trace Hance P5, Yakov Bielik in P6, Bobby Blankajip in P7, Colin Kortanik P9, and missed Brian Kennedy there in P8, Peter Yerksa P10, Stephen Tanney P11, Scott Kim P12, Barry Buchanan P13, Brian Hare P14, Tim Bradford P15. Oops, then I brought up the grid. That's not what I wanted. And Matthew Stover, final position here. So final shout outs here. There it is, not that one. Beltway Brewing Company. Thanks to them for sponsoring the season here. You can head on over to their Sterling tap room and get some handcrafted IPAs, lager, sour stouts, and even seltzer. You can order from their website, beltwaybrewco.com. Contact free delivery. You can pick up from their Sterling tap room. And, of course, we've got Treakle Insurance Agency and Hagerty Insurance, Darren Treakle's company here. They provide auto, home, business, and life insurance. And with that Hagerty Insurance, they've teamed up for collector car coverage as well as race car and track day coverage. So check them out. Very cool. Thanks for sponsoring, and shout out to Scott Kim there for organizing all this. We'll be back in a couple weeks with the GTEs for a season.